Well, hello all. That's way too close. So, unfortunately, the brand new lighting system I bought, well, it's broken, so we're back to the old lighting system. So, I'm sorry about the pink look in my face. It's going to stay that way for quite a while until I can afford a new camera. It's going to be expensive. So, anyway, what we're going to talk about today is the past. History teaches the future. And I wanted to talk about a new report that's come out saying that they're able to now test dust-sized grains to figure out how CO2 was released in the past. Let's go over to the board on this hot boiling day and take a look at what I found. This new science literature that's come out says that we're headed for a warm period. If you think it's warm now, you haven't seen anything yet. If we go back to the PETM, which is this, that's about between 56 million years ago and 53 million years ago. There was a sudden spike in temperatures. It went up 8 degrees. The continents were almost in the same place they are now. They were a little different, but there was still the North Pole, South Pole, and all the continents were just about where they are now. At that time, the North Pole, Greenland, and the South Pole all had tropical vegetation there, meaning that there was life on Earth even 8 degrees above what it is today, Celsius. That's a huge increase compared to what we're talking about now. The difference between then and now is that the tropics were everywhere, from the north all the way to the south. The ocean temperatures were way, way warmer than they are now, about 20 degrees Celsius warmer than they are now in the equator. But the PETM, so this is a graph of time. It took 1,000 years to get up to its highest point, 8 degrees C above today's level. And then over 200,000 years it started to cool off. And then suddenly it went back down and went back into a glacier. They think that the PETM may have been volcanic in origin. So not only was the Earth very hot at the PETM, it was very warm for quite a while, but life was just abundant on land everywhere. The oceans are the ones that suffered. The acidification came in and wiped out everything with shells, or there were no more coral reefs at that time except for the very deepest. And sea life was almost non-existent at that time. The temperature was as hot as a sauna can be today. If you go into a sauna, that's the temperature of the ocean back then. So 8C plus makes an ocean 20C plus over time, just 1,000 years. But compare that with today. We're shooting up 10-fold of what the PETM was. And that was considered one of the fastest swings up and down in Earth's history since life has been on it. So this whole thing about if we pass 1.5 C we're dead, I just don't believe it, guys. I read history, I look at it, and we go up and down in temperature 8-9 degrees normally, and life has survived this. Let's look at this this chart here, and we can see in the last thousands and thousands, last 400,000 years, and we've been going up and down like crazy, up and down in temperature, and life holds on. Now, I'm not saying that human life will hold on. We should be able to. We can live in the jungle. It's raising food and trying to stave off diseases in these hot, humid temperatures. There's a big challenge ahead, but we could easily survive it if we tried. And we tried everything we could to stop the global climate change. Now, back then in the PETM, the gases that caused such huge and massive increases in temperature was CO2 was one. They think that mostly came from the volcanoes. 2 was the methane that came out of the oceans as methane hydrates. And 3 was other greenhouse gases that also came out, such as rotting vegetation and animals and all that kind of stuff. It all caused an enormous amount of heat in the atmosphere. but life did go on. In fact, that was one of the most life-filled periods of the planet. So that's what I wanted to show you guys today. Now, tomorrow, we're going to take one of those awful medical tests, and it will take me 7 weeks to recover from it. I'm not looking forward to it. Not at all. I just dread it. I can't wait till tomorrow's over. And then comes the results. The dreaded results. Will they be positive or negative? Oh, I can't stand medical stuff. Doctors don't tell you anything. They just give you pills and say, hey, do this, that. Then you find out that one of the pills that the doctors recommend is thought to cause some possible cancer in people. Wouldn't you know it? I know they try their hardest, and I'm not putting them down, but it's very frustrating because the doctors and the nurses, they don't tell you anything about what's going on, you know, and that's the worst thing, because you're just reliant on the internet and you don't know if that's right or wrong, and if you start to ask them about it, what do you get? Right? They're staring at their damn watch, waiting for you to hurry up so they can get on their next patient and another batch of money. You know, it's just about money. It's not about real health care anymore. So, I don't know when I'll be back, but I do appreciate the ups, the downs, and all your fantastic comments. I appreciate your last ones. I read them all, and I appreciate them all. And until next time,